All right, let's get into it. Today, we are going to talk about how to architect your most powerful tool, your mind. We are diving deep into critical thinking. And let me tell you, this is a skill that doesn't just help you win arguments. No, it can fundamentally change how you make decisions, solve problems, and just navigate your life.
I mean, you've probably wondered about this, right? We've all seen those people who just seem to glide through life's complexities with this amazing ease. And the secret, well, it's not that they're necessarily smarter than everyone else. It's that they think better.
And that right there is the key. Critical thinking isn't some magic talent you're born with. Not at all. It's a skill. It's a muscle that gets stronger the more you use it. It's really about developing a more disciplined, a more effective way to use the intelligence that you already have.
So let's start with the fundamentals. If we're going to build this mental muscle, we first need a clear blueprint. So what exactly is critical thinking? And more importantly, why is it basically an essential survival tool in our super complex, information-packed world? You know, the key word here is discipline. A lot of people hear critical thinking and they think it means being negative or just poking holes in things. But it's not. It's actually a structured process. It's about stepping back from that gut reaction to really analyze a situation objectively. The goal isn't to be a critic, it's to be an analyst.
So why should you care? Well, because the benefits of the stuff ripple out into every single corner of your life. This isn't some abstract academic thing. We're talking about the toolkit for making better career moves, for solving really difficult personal problems, and even for improving your relationships just through better understanding. It's like a fundamental upgrade to your own personal operating system.
Okay, so before we can even begin to analyze the world around us, we have to explore the most complex territory of all, our own minds. Think of it like an inner landscape, full of hidden strengths, but also a few really well-hidden traps.
And this really gets to the heart of it. This is the foundation of the whole skill. Before you can clearly analyze the world, you have to understand the lens that you're looking through. Recognizing your own mental patterns, your biases, your blind spots, that's the absolute essential first step.
So how do we actually build this self-awareness? Well, here are 3 really powerful, practical tools. Mindfulness helps you become kind of an impartial spectator to your own thoughts. Journaling, that creates a real record of your inner world, and you can start to see patterns over time. And asking for feedback, well, that gives you an outside perspective you just can't get on your own.
So once we start looking inward, the next logical step is to look outward. A huge part of critical thinking is becoming a sort of logic detective. You learn to spot the flaws in arguments, not just in what other people are saying, but just as importantly, in your own thinking.
Think of these as your basic fallacy detection toolkit. Learning to spot them helps you cut right through the noise. For instance, you see a debate where someone starts attacking the person instead of their idea? That's an ad hominem attack. Or when they claim one tiny action is going to lead to some huge catastrophe with zero evidence? That's a classic slippery slope. Seriously, once you start seeing these patterns, you can't unsee them.
Now, beyond just flawed arguments from other people, we have to deal with the flaws in our own thinking. I want you to imagine you're playing chess, but half of your pieces are completely invisible, and they're moving all on their own. Those are your cognitive biases.
Now, the crucial thing to get here is that these biases are not a sign of low intelligence. Not at all. They're a natural feature of our brains. To handle this incredibly complex world, our minds create these little mental shortcuts. And a lot of the time, they're useful, but they can also lead to these systematic errors in judgment, especially when the stakes are high. So let's look at 3 of the biggest traps. Confirmation bias. That's our natural tendency to just gobble up information that fits what we already believe. The anchoring effect. That's why the first price you see on something kind of sticks in your head and influences every negotiation after. And the availability heuristic. That's why a vivid image, like a shark attack, can make us overestimate a really rare danger while we totally underestimate a common one, like, say, texting while driving.
So how do we actively fight these biases? Well, one really powerful technique is called steel manning. Instead of arguing against a weak, twisted version of an idea, a straw man, you do the exact opposite. You actually build the strongest possible version of the other side's argument. So instead of saying, they just want to do X, you'd say, okay, their goal is Y, and here is their best case for why this is a good idea. This forces you to engage with the real idea, not some caricature, and it makes your own thinking so much sharper. Okay, so we've talked about the theory, right? We've looked at self-awareness, logical fallacies, our own cognitive biases, but how do we actually put all this into practice? How do we use these tools to untangle the real, messy problems that we all face every single day? Well, this 5-step framework can turn a moment of just pure panic into a structured process. It starts with number 1, truly defining the problem, not just reacting to its symptoms. Then, you gather info from all different angles. Only then do you start brainstorming solutions without any judgment. After you evaluate those options, you move on and implement. But, and this is important, the process isn't over. That final step, monitoring and being ready to adjust, is often the most important one of all.
As we start to wrap this up, it's so important to remember that mastering critical thinking, it isn't a destination. It's not a box you check off and say, done. It is an ongoing journey of growth, of reflection, and of deliberate practice.
And these 4 qualities, these are the fuel for that lifelong journey. It's about staying curious, being truly open to new ideas, having the intellectual humility to say, you know what, I might be wrong about this. And it's about having the mental resilience to learn from your mistakes. This isn't just a set of skills, it's a mindset for growth.
So, I will leave you with this question. The journey of 1,000 miles, as they say, starts with a single step. To start architecting your mind today, just pick one assumption, one thing you believe to be true without even questioning it, and decide to challenge it. What's it going to be?